a few things about the International Women's Day. And before we do that, I want you to go into the chat session so that I want to welcome everyone now. So I want you to go into the chat session. I want you to tell me your name and where you're joining in from. Welcome once again to the commemoration of the International Women's Day 2025. So I want you to go into the chat session and let me know where you're joining in from. And if you know of anybody that is supposed to be here and is not here, kindly let's do a reminder. Let's send a reminder to our groups admin. Let's send a reminder to our groups, to our communities, to say that we are live. So I want to read in the chat session. I hope I'm not stressing you guys because I see people are not responding. I want you to tell me your name and where you're joining from. And while you're doing that, you can do a shout out. Thank you. If it says joining from Lagos, if you see anyone in the audience, Olanike is joining from England. Thank you very much, Olanike, for always. Penina is joining from Kenya. Thank you very much, Penina, for joining. I want you to also do a shout out to if you see somebody you know in the audience, I want you to do a shout out. I see Joy. Joy, hi. I see you. Thank you for joining. Oluwaseun is joining from Ojodu, Lagos. So BCC Lapborn is joining from Aja. Lapborn, hi. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Sonki is joining from Abuja. Hi, Rowa. Hello, everyone. Ifeyinwa is joining from Ogbomoso. Teishaya is joining from Ogun State. Thank you for joining. Abosede is joining from Magboro, the prayer city. Joy is joining from England. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. So the International Women's Day it's not just about the shout out and the hashtag. While we enjoy all that, I would like to say that it is about owning our power as women, breaking barriers and making things happen. And I remember last year, Olatiade Benson Idauta established that to say, see, nobody is taking the power from you. Don't let anybody push you into fighting a fight that is not justified. We all have the power. We are created with power, and nothing has been taken of us. The only reason why it seems as if we are behind or something is because we are not exerting our power. We need to start owning our power. And this is what we want to talk about here. This event is packed with all the inspiration and motivation you need to keep winning in the world that we are now. I know what it means to know that you are more than enough when you see yourself feeling stuck. I actually know what it means. And I wrote here that I have a little experience of life and how the trajectory of life um, can change in a twinkling of an eye. And I see my mom also go through the pain of rejection and labeling, even when we all know that she was an amazing woman. So I'm saying all this as an introduction to this meeting to say that you might be here and you feel stuck. You are here, you feel you're probably not good enough, or something has happened to you that is making you see yourself less, making you see yourself less of who you are. And I have become very vulnerable since my mom passed about sharing her story. I had an amazing mom who passed shortly before Christmas, this last year. And one thing I learned over time and thinking and reflecting on her life was that even though she was an amazing woman, she was going through a lot, but one thing did not change. She did not change. Her personality did not change. And when I mean her personality, I mean the joy and the happiness that is always around her. But guess what? She allowed the labeling and the rejection affect her esteem. And I think this is one thing as women that we need to pay attention to. Because something did not go well for you does not mean it is the end of your life. I coordinate the Sunshine Hub community. That's the community for divorced men and women, where we have about 150 something men and women in the community. And I always tell them that, see, because you're divorced, because you're a single mother, does not mean it is the end of your life. So I'm challenging everyone here. What is that thing that you have gone through that is making it seem as if your life has stopped? That is making you see yourself as less of who God has ordained you to be. And I was discussing with one of my friends yesterday, and one major lesson I think I said about that is, and then from my mom's story, is that you can be your own cheerleader. You can make your life beautiful regardless of what anybody thinks or feels about you. Because this is where the barrier starts from. If you start seeing yourself less, if you are not sharing of yourself, if you're seeing the mistake that you have made as a big deal and not living your life to the fullest, it is not anybody that is doing that to you. The society might label you, the society might call you names, but I need you to know this evening that you are the creator of your reality. We are women. We have the power. We have the ability. Let us accelerate action. No more waiting. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. No more waiting. Let's be fearless and tap into the phenomenal woman who can shape the world around her. You can navigate motherhood with grace. You are the real MVP. I wrote this down. I said I was going to talk about them, but let me just read it so that I don't miss out anything. And this is what our guests will be talking about today. This evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you're joining in from. Admin, can you please spotlight me? I can't see myself in the spotlight. Thank you. Thank you. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And this evening, I have two of my guests in the room. I have Useh and I have Tewa Onasanya. I want to read Useh's bio now, and I'm going to bring the two of them up. So let's have Useh. Ifeyinwa Useh is a tantrum-informed care specialist, certified counselor, and a family life practitioner with over 10 years experience in counseling and support in family life circles, particularly working with couples and planning couples events. She holds a bachelor's and master's degree in business administration from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and an MSc psychology from Coventry University, UK. She's currently an associate of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development, CIPD, which contributes to her ability to delve into workplace counseling and contributes to human resource development. Ife is in private practice, and he's sought after for knowledge in personal awareness and ability to learn support to her clients as a journey to wholeness and recovery. Ifeyinwa is married with children and also runs a successful retail business in Lekki area of Lagos State, Nigeria. If you pay attention to this, she is very good in what she does. She's good at what she does. She um, she contributes her ability and delve into workplace counseling and contribute to human resources development. she is knowledgeable, and that's why she's here. She's very knowledgeable, and she's wise. She's wise. She, she's wise, and that's one of the things that attracts me to her. And I just thought that she's going to be one of our guests today, so that she's going to share her wealth of wisdom with the women in the audience. We're celebrating the International Women's Day. And so once again, welcome Ife Useh. Guys, let's welcome Ifeyinwa Useh to the International Women's Day 2025 event. Thank you very much, Ife Useh, for joining us. My second guest is also in the house. I have Dr. Tewa. You're not welcoming my guest. I don't know what. Happening. Okay, so I have my second guest, Dr. Tewa Onasanya. Thank you very much, Edemi. Thank you for welcoming my guest. Okay, I have Dr. Tewa Onasanya. She's an entrepreneur and philanthropist with over 20 years experience. She is a publisher, author, and mindset special stylist. That's one reason why I brought Tewa. She's a mindset stylist. She holds a BSc in pharmacology from the University of Portsmouth, UK, and a diploma in fashion journalism from the College of Media and Publishing, UK, a certificate in mindfulness from Udemy, and a certified law of attraction practitioner. Her distinguished fellow and honorary doctorate of philosophy in leadership and performance management is from the Institute of Leadership, Manpower, and Management Development. She is the founder of Exquisite Magazine, a fashion, wellness, and lifestyle magazine for the unlimited woman. Exquisite Magazine organizes the Exquisite Magazine Awareness for cancer events, which includes EMAC, SMARIT walks, and SMARathon. Sorry, I take that again. A cancer event, which includes the EMAC, SMARIT walks, and SMARathon events, aimed at increasing the awareness of cervical cancer prevention and free screening for people. In 2009, Exquisite Magazine started an only female award ceremony called the Exquisite Lady of the Year, Eloy Awards and Conference, aimed at sustaining women empowerment by celebrating and empowering women of excellence in different fields. The Eloy Foundation was created to sustain women empowerment through access to mentors, affordable finance, training, grants, and more to help build and sustain their businesses. This is done through the Eloy Foundation Sustainable Empowerment Program, SIP, and the Eloy Foundation Network. Dr. Tewa's mentoring experience has been on the Cherry Blair Foundation UK and Gambia, helped to grow by Enterprise Nation UK, First City Monument Bank Nigeria, the Eloy Awards Foundation Nigeria, SME 100 Nigeria, to mention a few. She has been featured in numerous international and Nigerian media, which include CNN, BBC, New York Times, Wikipedia, Punch, Guardian, This Day, Vanguard, and more newspapers, television and radio stations. She has won several awards internationally and in Nigeria. Dr. Tewa Onasanya is passionate about empowering, inspiring, motivating people to be the best person of themselves, to be the best version of themselves. She's also a mindset stylist and the author of the best-selling book, Rule Your Mind. How to rule your mind to live the life you desire intentionally and others. She's married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen in the room, and if we don't have men, ladies, you heard this profile that I've read. Can you please celebrate my guest? Celebrate my guest, celebrate my guest. I want to see you. I want to see the buzzer in the chat session. And at me, at this point, I want you to spotlight my guest. Please spotlight my guest. The two of them are there. Welcome, Madam Useh, and welcome, Dr. Tewa Onasanya. Thank you very much for the beautiful things you do. Mrs. Useh is a very private person, but even in her privacy, she's well known to the people that come in contact with her. Dr. Tewa, I met Dr. Tewa at the Women International, an event by the Women International last year. And, she said something about being a mindset stylist. And we can see from what I have read, the level of engagement she has done, for the things she has done with the women fold. And this is the reason why I just felt, no, these are the people we really need. And I want us to know that it's not as if these people don't have their own issues or they have not been through, but the reason why they are here is because they have a story to tell. And if you're paying attention to any of my talk, I always say that whatever we have gone through, there are tools in our hands to that we can use to help other people. And this is why we are here. I don't want us to, we said it last year, we established that fact last year, that we are not fighting for equality when we are not ready to stand as par with the people we are fighting for equality for. We don't want to get to the table and be crying and be emotional. My boss will say that systems are not emotional. So what are the things we need to do? And this is why we are here. We are saying let us accelerate action because now is the time. Enough of staying at the back. It is time to get into the driver's seat of our life. So the first person that I'll be speaking this evening, this afternoon and morning is Mrs. Ifeyinwa. She's going to be speaking from that practitioner's perspective. Mrs. Useh, what do you have to tell us as regards accelerating action and unleashing the power that is within us? Thank you very much.
Welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
A lot of hype.
No, it's not hype, Guys, let's celebrate with Useh as she gets ready. You want to share your slide? Okay, we can't hear you now. We can't hear you. Okay. Admin, please unmute her second device. Do you want to try now? This is okay.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. And I was saying thank you very much for the very warm welcome and the hype.
It's kind of nice,
Every, I think
when you're being
everyone
your
everyone needs a hype man like Ebu. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I think my first thanks goes to the Institute of Family Engineering and Development, which is also the Center for Sex Education and family. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the years and the journey of working with every one of you in the house. And that has brought us to where we are today. If I know one organization that is women-centric, IFED is one of them. In IFED, every woman has a voice. And I really honor the founder, Praise Fowowe, and all the members of the team for just being them, being with that group of people has really built me up, and this opportunity to come and talk here, share, have this conversation is one that I don't take lightly. And everyone, thank you for being here as well. Dr. Tewa, you're welcome. I am not sure I've met you before, but going forward, I'm sure we're going to be able to build something, and you're really welcome to this, and thank you for being here as well. Thank you to everyone that is in the audience, all the people that have come to here and to share Women's Day with us. Happy International Women's Day to all of you as we celebrate and as we talk about how and if and when to accelerate action. I believe it's going to be a good time and a nice time that we're going to spend together. So without much ado, I'll just go right into the conversation today from my end. Dr. Ebo has already done a lot, she has spoken a lot, so I'll just buttress that and then I'll hand over to my who will do justice to the rest of the program. So yeah, thank you everyone and welcome. So before I start, I'll just go into some data. I'm going to read a quote. The quote is from the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs report for 2022. Now it says, at the current rate of progress, it will take up to 286 years to close the gaps in legal protection and remove discriminatory laws worldwide. It will take 140 years for women to be represented equally in positions of power and leadership in the workplace worldwide. And it will take at least 40 years to achieve equal representation in national parliaments at the rate we are going. Think about that and let it sink in. And then go to the comment section and tell me how that makes you feel. How does that make you feel? When you hear that, I haven't seen any responses. I don't know if there are any. Let's see. Yeah, but I know that it can sound overwhelming. It is thought-provoking. It is thought-provoking. And so that's the basis for Accelerate Action. That's the basis for the theme for this year. What can we do? This is the world speaking now. This is the UN. This is all the power brokers, as it were, saying, what can we do to shorten this time? What strategies can we create to make it faster? What steps can we take to accelerate or to bring the time, maybe half? What can we do? If we continue at the rate we're going, this is how long it's going to take. If we can change it, if we can accelerate it, it might have the time, but it's still going to take some time. And that's the word that I want to center on now. It's an if, and it's a big if. Let me tell you a story. There's this, I can't remember whether it's a lady or a man, but because we're women and this is International Women's Day, I did see a man in the audience. So welcome to him. Thank you for supporting us. And thank you. And if you check it well, you see that he's a member of IFED. Like I said, in IFED, every woman has a voice. So yes, I want to go to this story. And for just for the purpose, I'll say a woman. So a woman went to this native doctor, and she went to the native doctor to ask. She said she was concerned about her life and how her life was going. And she said, how long, what's my life? What's the trajectory of my life? Is it going to be bright? Is it going to be, what's it about? I want to know. And the man said to her, well, I don't know. I don't have much to tell you, but I'm going to do something. And at the end of it, you will be able to tell which way your life is going to go. And so he said, he brought out a millipede, a dead millipede, and dropped it on the floor. And then he drew two circles. And he drew one circle with white chalk and the second circle with black chalk. And he said to her, I'm going to start making incantations. When I start making incantations, first of all, the millipede is going to wake up. Then when the millipede wakes up, it's going to start going to the circle. Whichever circle it enters will determine whether your life will be bright or whether it will be full of doom. The white circle represents the bright life. The dark circle represents the dark life, as it were. And so he began to make the incantations. And true to his word, the dead millipede came to life and then began to move. And the woman was looking with anticipation at what's going to happen and which way it was going to go. And it began to go towards the white circle, and she was, looking with excitement and wondering, oh, wow, is this possible? Is this how it's going to be? And the millipede was going, and all of a sudden, just started turning and started going towards the black circle. And she was looking, and she was looking with trepidation, and she was looking. And as the thing it did not turn. It's not like how it went was going to the white, it turned. When it was going to the black, it didn't turn. It was making its way to the edge. And as it got to the edge of the black circle, in all her trepidation, in all her uncertainty, in everything, she just reached out and picked up the millipede and dropped it in the middle of the white circle. And the man said, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's not what we're talking about. Why would you do that? She said, I cannot sit here and allow an insect to determine the trajectory of my life. And so, back to what we were talking about, while there's all this call, while there's all this awareness, while there's all this advocacy for women, while they're shining the light on women issues, the issues of sexism, harassment, whether it is sexual or otherwise, gender biases, gender equality, gender parity, everything that goes on and on. One thing that we have to, that we, go away with is that number one, there's still a long way to go. And number two, and more importantly, this journey cannot be left for another person to do for you. And so as we're here, that is what I want to encourage us about. I was talking to my daughter, the same thing when I said she type in the chat box, and she was like, just thinking about it, she actually did like this. It's crazy how much women are set back, and how we're waiting for someone to do something that is going to benefit us. I will read another thing that I saw from one of the banks. I saw a slogan for Women's Day, and they said, oh, accelerate action for her progress, for her lifestyle, for her growth, for her success. She's got big dreams and bold moves. She just needs the right support. That's where we come in. This month, we're not just cheering for her, but we're making things happen for her. It really sounds all well and good, and it's from a good place. But I want to move us women from the place where we're waiting for people to make something happen for us, make something work, give you a place where it will be comfortable for you to thrive. And these things may never happen. These things are not in our hands. These things are not things that we can determine. One thing you must take in your journey of life is that the things that you can control are the things that you should work with. Don't allow things that you can't control where you are, what you are doing, and what you should do. And so, for every woman, I want to call on us and encourage us in these our circles that we should accelerate action, but accelerate action for you. What can you do within your sphere of influence? What can you do in your life? What can you do in the life of your sister, your friend, your colleague? What can you do in the life of your daughter? I have 4 daughters, and I even today I told them about the daughters of Zelophehad. the daughters of Zelophehad that went to, this is a story from the Bible, and they went to the Moses, who was the head over them at that time, and brought their case, and he granted, and laws were changed because of them, because of that singular protest. They didn't wait for a time where the laws now favored them before they began to do something. That's all I want to encourage us about this evening, even as we are meeting here. What can we do to personally empower ourselves and to lift up the other woman? We must debunk that saying that women are their own worst enemies. Really and truly, it could happen in some places, but in a lot of places, women actually help women. But this narrative is not pushed. The negative narrative is what is pushed. And so, as we advocate for progress, and progress can mean different things to different people. There's a universal meaning for progress, which is moving from one place to another, moving, advancing, and going forward. But in your own life, progress can mean different things. For me, progress might mean giving an opportunity given me in the workplace to do something that sounds or is phenomenal, or it could be starting school. For someone else, it could be starting school, taking the steps that will lead you to start school. For another person, it could be making a move to move you to a place of safety from a place where you had probably tried or managed to live in that wasn't really best for you. Progress would mean seeking help to bring you to a place of wellness. Progress could mean leaving work and chasing a dream. Progress can mean different things for different people, and it is okay that your definition of progress doesn't have to be the definition of another person's progress. But that thing that is progress to you, find joy in it, find fulfillment in it, and be empowered to start to do it. So the bottom line, your progress should not be determined by another person. It would help if they do everything that they're trying to do. It will help. But that should not be the crux of it, and that should not be what you are waiting for before you begin to live that life that can bring you to a place of peace, a place of freedom, a place of fulfillment. Accelerate the action that will lead you to the place where your heart yearns for. Accelerate the action that is suitable for you. Accelerate the action that will lift you up. So it shouldn't just be a passive participant in the activities that will bring progress to you. And as much as people like that bank and other people really want to, they gender parity in the world and all of that is all well and good. But before we get to that place, before these 286 years, before the 140 years, before the 40 years, where can you move yourself to? What can you do? If you're worried, sometimes people worry about starting late. I'm a late starter. So I studied business administration. You heard my profile. I had my master's in and MBA very early, but then I found a lot later that I spent 15 years at home too, taking care of my children. It was a choice I made, right? So I put everything. I had all those degrees before I had my kids, and I put them aside, and I did that. And then one day in my business, which I was doing, which I started doing after the 15 years, I discovered my love for speaking to people, for encouraging people, for helping people. And that's when I went back to school to start again. So it's never too late for you to start anything. When you're thinking of starting, and starting late might not be as old as I am. Sometimes it might just be 5 years in, and you want to start something new. Never be afraid of starting again. If that is what is going to take you to that place of fulfillment, that place of peace, that place of freedom, never be afraid to start late. Because when you start late, you're starting with a lot more than you think. You're actually starting with maturity. Maturity bequeaths a lot on you. You're starting with resilience, for the resilience that you used to stay in the place that wasn't comfortable for you. No matter what it is you do going forward, it's going to be better than where you were. You have experience, you have life experience just by virtue of living longer. You have capacity. These are things that you don't have if you started, let me not say if you don't have them if you started early, but when you're starting late, you have them. Always look at what you have and what you don't have, and avoid the trap of regret. Avoid the trap of, I could have done this earlier. Avoid the trap of, yes, you could have done it earlier, but let your regrets direct you rather than hold you back. So if you think that you should have done XYZ, don't stay there. Do XYZ. The minute you discover that you could have done XYZ, it's never too late. Do XYZ. That way your regret has directed you rather than limited you. Don't be bogged down by what people say. That's the worst part of it. Don't think about what people say. When I was going to do my master's in psychology, I had a whole lot of people that were actually wondering what very, very fundamental people that were fundamental to decision making were like, what do you need it for? Why do you need to do this? But I knew that it was something I asked myself. I said, I had this business that was thriving in Lekki. And I said to myself, in 10 years, if I look back and I don't have this business, how am I going to feel? In 10 years, if I don't do this thing that I really want to do, how am I going to feel? And I knew the decision to take, despite the fact that other people didn't think it was the right thing to do at that time. So don't be bogged down by what people say. Audit your lost opportunities. Your lost opportunities, they say hindsight is 2020. And so in 2020 hindsight, you can see what opportunity would have been good that you didn't take. And so you can smell that opportunity again from afar if it's coming. And so position yourself to take advantage of that opportunity or something that looks like it, because now you have the experience of knowing what a lost opportunity looks like. Oh my God.
Can you find mute one of your devices?
What is muted? Can you hear me? Okay, you can't see me.
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay. So audit your lost opportunities, like I was saying, and you can recognize this from afar and curb your ego. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for direction. Don't be ashamed to learn. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. Connect with the younger generation. Connect with your children. Me, my children, I go to them all the time, and they help me along things that I should have known or I don't know, technology and things like that. So don't be ashamed of all of that. You learn from the younger generation, including your children, and let your insecurities direct you. If your profile is weak, just strengthen it. If you find anything, whatever it is that makes you feel that you are not up to, just work on that rather than narrowing down on the fact that you haven't done this or you haven't done that. Be focused, be intentional, reach out for help, collaborate. Everything you need. Ebu said at the beginning, you have the power. We have the power. Everyone that was created with everything that they need to succeed in life. Reach in within, bring it out. And in the process of working it out, help. When you help people, you also lift up yourself. And so in doing that, while we're waiting for United Nations and all of them to accelerate action, while we're waiting for all these things to happen so that women can gain gender parity, can gain that there will be gender equality and all of that, you yourself would have brought yourself to a place where you are happy, you are satisfied. You, even if you haven't gotten there, at least you see yourself well on the journey of getting to a place where you can truly say to yourself, every 8th of March, happy Women's International Day. Thank you so much for having me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. That was deep. Guys, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? Thank you so much, Useh. That was a beautiful word. And if you check the chat session, I was trying to summarize some of the things she was saying. She had said it that you should curb your ego. If you need to learn from your children, learn from them. That's one thing that a lot of us just want to be comfortable where you are. You want to be in your safe space, and that space is not safe. So seek for help. Ask people to teach you things. And she said, don't be bogged down by what people have to say. She has said a lot. And in all, she had capped it up to say that the power that we need is inside of us, so that your expectation will meet manifestation. By the time United Nations are ready to take us in, you're already prepared. you're already prepared to be taken in. Not that it's when they are now ready, you'll be saying, I need to learn, I need to put in, I need to dot my I and cross my T's. No, we need to start working on ourselves from now. Accelerate action. That statistic she read, when I saw it like a month ago, when we were preparing for this meeting, I was just like, so what have we been doing? Can we just leave that statistic and now focus on us? And that's why I said what I said when we started. And when Ife was talking, she read a caption that she saw, I think in a bank or something, talking about assisting and supporting people. And so at this point, I want to talk about as an organization, we are incorporating an element of women-focused fundraising, which is to support three incredible women. These women they are from our Sunshine Hub community, that's the divorce community. And these women have shown resilience, they have shown courage, they have shown determination. They are ready to fly, they are ready to accelerate action. We just need your support to help these people, and we can light up their path and remind them that they are not alone. So at this time, I want the admin, thank you very much, oh my proactive admin. He has dropped the account details if you want to support us on this cause to support these three amazing women who have gone through divorce, but they have not allowed this divorce to dictate or define them. In fact, there's a particular one of them who they are still in the court, but you will see her trying to make all ends meet for her children, even when the husband, the ex, is not doing anything, giving any support. But you see this lady, she's not so educated, but she's putting herself out there to work. Unfortunately, last October, the store that we helped her, we supported her in raising, the Lagos State government brought it down. They said it was in the wrong location. So we're trying to support her in starting the business all over again and getting a good location. And the other two also had their own story. So the bank details is there in the chat section. Please, yes, that's the Zenith Bank account. And please, after the payment, you can share the proof of donation to this WhatsApp number. That's my WhatsApp number, actually. You can send the proof of donation to that WhatsApp number. With this, we come to the second segment of this International Women's Day 2025 show or talk show. And this second session is going to be taken by the mindset lifestylist, and that is Dr. Tewa Onasanya. Dr. Tewa Onasanya is into these things that we do, supporting women, empowering them, educating them, training them, and giving them all the assistance that they need. But you see, there's no way you can support people if they operate from the wrong mindset. They're going to sabotage all your efforts. And so Dr. Tewa is here to help us with our mindset as we celebrate the International Women's Day 2025. Hello, Dr. Tewa. Hi, Dr. Tewa. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Finally. Sorry. I was looking for the button for a minute. I was clicking on myself. Hello, everybody. Great evening, everyone. Hi. I am so excited to be here. And well done to our first speaker. Ife, you did a great job. And those stats are staggering. I mean, 200 and something years time. No way. We cannot accept that. So we must accelerate this action. And really and truly, it's not about getting, letting other people do this for us. We have to own it and do it for ourselves. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Ebolomo, for inviting me. I am really honored to be here. I'm very excited as well. So you've done a wonderful introduction. And in just a one-liner, I'm going to say I am a multifaceted entrepreneur and a mindset stylist. And essentially, a mindset stylist is a mindset coach. But I don't like to use the word coach because I believe it's overused and flogged a lot. And another reason why I use the term stylist is because I want people to understand that just as you pick your clothes and your shoes and your handbags to match to match together so that you look good on the outside, you're meant to pick and choose your thoughts, your words, to match to make you feel good on the inside so that you be able to take action on whatever it is you need to take action on. That is why I decided, maybe also from the fashion magazine that I run, that is why I decided to call myself a mindset stylist. Because for you to move to your next level, you need to restyle your mind. So all the different things that you've known in the past that are not serving your higher purpose, you need to start restyling your mind. I also call it ruling your mind to be able to achieve what you want. So now I have been asked to talk about accelerating progress, accelerating action, unleashing your potential, unleashing your wings, not holding yourself back from anything, which is, I always say this, that human beings have a master's degree, in fact, a PhD on holding themselves back. But from today onwards, with what I'm going to share with you, and funny enough, Ebolomo also shared some of this at the beginning, all you have to do is harness the power that you already have within you, that you were already born with. So for you to accelerate action, both for yourself, your family, and your community, you must embrace a growth mindset. You cannot work on a fixed mindset moving forward. You cannot, just be nonchalant about things. Your mindset has to change because you cannot open a new door with old keys. It's impossible. I mean, try it. You can't open a new padlock with an old set of keys. You need to change keys. So with whatever is happening in our world, we need to move with the times and we need to change with the times as well. So it's very, very important to embrace that can-do mentality. That, failure is not failure, but it's a stepping stone to my next destination kind of mindset. That adaptability mindset. That mindset of, okay, so we're here at this point, we want to get to the next level. What do we need to do? You're open to solutions. You're not rigid in your thinking. You know that you're meant to learn from failures. You want to improve yourself. You want to, like Dr. like Ify said, you're learning from different opportunities. I'm so glad she mentioned my kid. She mentioned children, because I learn from my children every single day, and I learn from other people as well, and I learn from the younger people as well. I don't say, oh, because I'm approaching 50, I know it all, nobody else. No, because there's so many things that we can learn from the younger people. So for us to be able to accelerate this action, we need a growth mindset. I love it. Adegbala just said a flexible mindset. Yes, you need that flexible mindset to be able to soak in new information, for you to be able to soak in more ideas, for you to be able to take action and not limit yourself. Listen, I was doing a Google earlier today when I was preparing my notes for today. And guess what I found? They said, let me open it very quickly. They said that a lot of people, a lot of women suffer from self-doubt. This is going to my next point of silencing that inner critique. Because that inner critique is what's holding us back. Everybody is already doing the good job of, trying to silence you, trying to say women are not allowed to do this, women are not allowed to do that, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. That is already happening in the world. Guess what? 82% of women reported that self-doubt is a major obstacle to them achieving their goals. This is according to KPMG Women Leadership Study. Can you believe that 82%? That's like almost all of us. Talk about self-doubt. Can you also believe it that 60% of women say that lack of confidence in their abilities, despite their qualifications and experience, limits them? 60%. That's over 50 women in the world. This is from a result from McKinsey and Company. Can you imagine self-doubt? Self-doubt, thinking, lack of confidence, yet you have that same qualification with that man. I mean, all of us here went to universities and there were men in our classes, were they not? When I was doing my presentation yesterday at an event that I spoke at, I said that, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're timid and you're shy. Men look at themselves in the mirror, and even if they don't have an iota of whatever it is they need, they feel, they ginger up themselves and think they're the best things after sliced bread. That's how we need to look at ourselves as well. Look at ourselves in the mirror and see a lioness. Look at ourselves in the mirror and see that powerful person, because we all have in us that powerful, that powerful thing that we can unleash onto, that we are meant to unleash into the world. So you need to silence that inner critic, because that inner critic is from the ego. Doctor, if you said, I keep calling you doctor, if you said that earlier, I'm conferring a doctorate on you. If you said that earlier, the ego will always want to rear its head, but you have to rule your mind. No pun intended from my book. You have to rule your mind and say to yourself that this is what I need to do. I need to move out of my comfort zone, because your mind will always want to keep you in that comfort zone, will always want to keep you in the familiar. And really and truly, the mind is trying to protect us. But then again, nothing great comes out of the comfort zone. You need to venture out. You need to move out of the norm, out of things. I mean, the only way to build confidence is to do something you've never done before. And guess what? Self-doubt is as a result of, is as a result of fear of the unknown. But the thing is, know that you're fearful because you haven't done that thing before. But once you do it, then you build your confidence, and then you're able to do it again. You're able to do it over and over again. I'm sure everyone, please tell me in the chat section, any experience in your life when you thought, oh my God, this is so hard, I can't do it. Type a one if you've ever experienced that. And then you eventually do that thing and you're thinking to yourself, so it wasn't even this difficult in the first place. After all that, I think Nelson Mandela said something about, you think it's difficult until it is done. Once you've done it, you now realize that, hold on a minute, it wasn't even as bad as I thought it was. It wasn't even that difficult. Even, picking up the phone to make that, that phone call that you probably think is, is going to be really difficult. At the end of the day, the person at the other end of the line is, quite supportive and encouraging as well. So we are scared because we haven't done it before. So you have to face that fear. Do it scared. Do it afraid. Self-doubt also shows its way in a way of procrastination. You have to do something, but you're procrastinating. The only reason you're procrastinating is because you're a little bit scared and you're fearful and you're thinking, can I do it? Can I not? Kill procrastination in its track. Go and do it anyway. Now, all these things I'm sharing with you today, I try to do it. I intentionally do it as often as possible. And I purposely use the word intentionally, because if you're not intentional about what you want to do, about your action, that person is going to stay stuck. That person is going to stay in that, on that level. So you must be intentional about taking action on your different habits that are not serving your higher purpose and making you think limitation. Because let me tell you something, we have, unlimited capabilities. Imagine when you speak to a young child and you're telling the young child you're this, you can do it. When you take your children to the sports ground and they're running and you're screaming their names and clapping for them and chanting them on, don't you see that they're excited and they want to do better? That's exactly how you should speak to yourself as well. Talk to yourself like, like that little child, because deep inside, we're all little children wanting to express ourselves. You might be older now, not old, but you might be older in age now. But then again, at the end of the day, you still have that tender heart. You want someone to speak to you nicely. You want what you want, so to speak. So yeah, treat yourself nicely. Speak to yourself nicely. You have to overcome self-doubt. We cannot have 82% of us not aiming for what they want to do, not taking action because they have self-doubt. Now, how do you Quieten the voice of self-doubt. How do you quieten the voice of that inner critic? I use something that I call the VAS keys. VAS meaning visualization, affirmation, scripting, and excited energy. Those are my VAS keys, and I wrote about them in my latest book called Convince Yourself First. The book is purposely titled Convince Yourself First because you need to convince yourself first about anything. You need to convince yourself that you deserve to be at that table. You need to convince yourself that you're able to speak out when you see injustice being done. You need to convince yourself that you're worthy of being in a room where, there are almost 90% men and you're the only female there. You need to convince yourself that you are worthy of being in this room and you can dish out as exactly how the men can as well. You can do it. So you need to convince yourself first. But before you're able to convince yourself, you need to see yourself in a different light. That's visualization and imagination as well. You need to see yourself as a grandeur type of person that can achieve whatever they decide they want to achieve, regardless of your situation. You can do it. And let me tell you something. Your story is supposed to be what is supposed to propel you to your next level. Visualization is important. The Bible, I'm going to, make references to the Bible because I'm a Christian, but I'm sure that in the Quran, it probably talks about, something like casting down wrongful imagination. Wrongful imagination is you imagining the worst case scenario. Wrongful imagination is you thinking you cannot do something. If you adopt a growth mindset, you will visualize yourself on a higher plane, on a higher level. You might not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. So appreciate yourself for where you are now. So this accelerate action that we're talking about, we need to see ourselves in our mind's eye that we're succeeding in places that ordinarily, women are not allowed to be in. This is part of why we do the Eloy Awards and conference, because women are doing exceptionally well in different fields, but they're just a few. So we need to highlight these women. We need to show these women to the world so that other women can see an example and a representation of themselves in those places. So you have to see it in your eye, in your mind's eye first. I always say this, that if you cannot see it, you cannot be it. It's not a curse, it's the way life is. And when the Bible talks about looking into the world as far as your eyes can see, to the north, to the west, to the east, to the south, you can have it. What the Bible was talking about is if you can see it in your mind's eye, if you can imagine it, that means it's possible for you. You cannot imagine what is not possible. And this goes for the good and the bad thing as well. So VASE keys, VASE, visualization is key. You must see yourself as a representation of where you want to. You must act like that as well. Not timid, not shy, not with lack of confidence. And you build your confidence. I said it before and I'm going to say it again because we learn by repetition. You build your confidence by putting yourself in positions that ordinarily you would not want to be at. That's how you start, garnering more ginger, so to speak. The next point on my VASC is in building this, and silencing the inner critic is affirmations. Talk nicely to yourself, just like you will talk to a lover or a partner or your children. Imagine you speaking to your children and shouting at them and saying, oh, you're this, you're that. They're not going to want to speak to you. They're not going to want to be around you. Yet, we do that to ourselves every single day. I don't even say a bad word to myself as a joke anymore. You do something, people will say, oh, I'm so stupid, kind of thing. Oh, I'm not clever enough. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Always talking about the things that you're not. Have you looked at yourself and identified the things that you actually are? Do you know that if you do a self audit of yourself, you will see that you have a lot of great things about you. But because you've focused on the wrong things, on the negative things, you've let that take rule over you. So for you to silence that inner critic, you need to affirm yourself. Intentionally speak words that you want to see the manifestation of in your life. Intentionally. Even when people are speaking about the whole economy being bad, I am always saying that I'm on God's economy. Because if the economy is so bad, the economy is so bad. People are making money, are they not? The world is this, the world is that. People are still making money. Do they have two heads? No. So we all are on God's economy, and you can be, you can have, you can do whatever it is you desire. So affirm yourself, talk to yourself nicely, speak only of what you want to see in your life. And guess what? Our choice of words matter as well. Very, very important, because I am rich is different from I will not be poor. They mean two different things. I am rich is focusing on rich. I will not be poor is focusing on poor. And the mind doesn't even understand the don't or the do or the can't or the can. It will take the operative word. So you must be your choice of words really matter. And then again, how you feel about the words you're saying really matters as well. Because you can chant, I am rich from here to kingdom come. If you do not believe it, it's not going to happen. But if you say, I am rich, and you're excited about the fact that it's not here yet, it's on its way. You embody it. You have that growth mindset and you're embodying it. You're unleashing your inner power. You know that I mean, look at me. I was born to be rich. I have to be, there's no other thing about it. You're that confident in yourself. There is no way opportunities will not come your way. Because when we're saying the words, how we're going to achieve it will not come to us immediately. But when you have that belief within yourself, the opportunities will start coming. The how to do it will start coming to your spirit. It could be make that phone call. It could be call, speak to that person, go to that event, do this, do that. And we have to take action. Part of unleashing our inner wings is taking action as well, because we can't sit there and wish that things will happen to us. You must take action. Now, another way to silence this inner critique is to write. I love scripting. I mean, I love writing. It's like the best thing since sliced bread. Because even though you might not be able to speak to people about how you're feeling, you can write it on paper. And by the time you write it on paper, let me tell you something. If you haven't tried this, try it. Once you begin to read it, you will see that actually it's not that bad after all. It's actually not that bad. And all these limiting beliefs that I've been telling myself, they're actually not true. When you realize that all of these things are actually not true and they're actually lies, you will feel better about yourself. Let me tell you a fact. You in life, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And I have proven this over and over again with my life experience. In talking nicely to yourself, I have been able to turn situations around by speaking nicely to myself and speaking of what I want to see in my life. I have my affirmation recorded on my phone. When I'm going into meetings, I'm listening to it, I'm gingering myself, I'm building my confidence before I walk into the room. Before I got onto this call today, before I was called up to speak, I already said my affirmation, so that it would help me to collect my thoughts. So I know exactly what I'm doing. If you're able to rule your mind, have that growth mindset, you will be prepared for things that you need to do. Because if you're not prepared, then you're going to fall short. And we don't want to do that because we're unleashing our wings. We have these wings already. We just need to know that we have that power and unleash them. Very, very important. Speak nicely to yourself. Write your script. Every single day, I write how I want my day to go. Yes, I was going to bring my journal down, but I forgot. I write how I want my day to go. Just, you have to write the vision and make it plain. The life cannot just be happening to me. I have to happen to life. Every day I decide how I want my day to go. And one big affirmation that I like to say every day when I wake up is, today is a great day to have a great day. Today is a great day to have a great day. And trust me, I will have a great day. I'm not saying it's all rosy all through the day, because some things, sometimes some things will come to challenge you. But because you have a growth mindset, you have a way that you respond to these challenges, and you're not reacting, in an unexpected way, so to speak. Because you have a growth mindset and you know where you're going, you have your destination in mind because you've seen it with your mind's eye. You act differently. Your confidence is different. It soars. So write it. And I do my writing twice a day. One first thing in the morning, scripting out how I want my day to go, writing my affirmations as well. And I write my affirmations for a specific goal. And then in the evening, when I'm about to go to sleep, I journal. I journal about how the day went and how I would like the day to go. And when I'm falling asleep, I'm making sure that I'm falling asleep with the goodness of the day, looking for the good things that happened in that day. Because when we are asleep, our subconscious is still working. Our mind is still working. And if we go to bed upset and if we go to bed depressed, we go to bed feeling, like a failure, we're going to recreate that the following day. And we're always going to be, recycling that. So it's very, very important. Listen, we're accelerating action. The bulk of the work is the mindset. Because for so many years, men, I don't know if we have any man within us, but then again, I have to say this. Men have limited us. They've said so many things, called us weak, yet we are the strongest. They've called us all sorts of things. Listen, a couple of days ago, or was it? No, today actually, I saw something on Instagram that blew my mind. I don't know if I still have it, if I can find it. It said that all through the course of our lives, or something like that. Let me see it. Let me try to see it to make sure that I have the right data. That women lose about 29 liters of blood from having a period, and men only lose six liters or something. Oh God, please let me find this. And yet you're calling us the weaker sex. We're the ones that carry the babies for nine months, going to full term with the babies, and yet we're the weaker sex. So for so many years, men or the world has programmed women to feel like they're the weaker sex, but we're not actually. We are not. So we need to have that mindset that we are actually, the biggest, we're the strongest. I'm sure you all have seen different things on Instagram where they've simulated they've simulated contractions with men, and the men are like, "Ah," and the pain is just 2%, and they're thinking, how are we doing this? I wish I could find this thing, but I can't find it. Can you imagine? We lose that much, and then it's us that goes through this cycle, every single month. And then period pains as well. Period pain is like, like a strong thing. In fact, I have to apologize to women because I only started having period when in my late 40s, period pains in my late 40s. So when people used to talk about period pains, I used to think, really? Are they serious? Until recently, and I'm like, oh my God. So we get all of those. So you need to adopt that mindset that actually I am powerful. Actually, I can do anything I set my mind to. So write your scripts. Make sure you go to bed on a happy note. List all the good things that happened in the day. If you can't find any good thing, at least thank God that you're breathing, because that means you're alive. Yeah. Find something to appreciate before you go to bed. Vasquez, the E is excited energy. You have to meet the world with excitement. You have to greet the world with joy, because whatever you give the world is what the world will give back to you. If you greet the world with sadness, with, listing all the things that are going wrong, that means you're focusing on the things that are going wrong, and life will think you want more of that. Whatever you focus on, grows. But if you focus on excitement, saying something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Today is a great day to have a great day. Life will see that, oh, it looks like she wants a great day. Let me give her more. Let me give her more. Oh, it looks like she appreciates her life. Let me give her more things to appreciate. Excited energy. Energy attracts like energy. If you focus on the negative, you will attract more of it. If you focus on the positive, you will attract more of it. On the streets, they say energy don't lie, vibes don't lie. It doesn't lie. Whatever energy you give off is what you're going to get. And that is law. That is the way life works. So you must be intentional about how you greet your day. Excited energy. Another thing you have to do to silence this inner critique is practice self-compassion. Be nice to yourself. I said talk nicely to yourself. It's part of being nice to yourself. Don't put yourself down. People are out there ready to do that for you. So don't put yourself down. Have self-compassion. If you make a mistake, acknowledge you make a mistake, you made that mistake, and look for the solution. I love it when Ify said that don't live in regret. When you realize the regret, then do what you're meant to have done. There's no late time. When you wake up is when you wake up. There's no late time. I say it again. When you wake up is when you wake up. When you become aware is when you wake up. That is your work season. So be compassionate towards yourself. Embrace yourself. Practice positive self-talk. Talk to yourself nicely every single moment. Be around people who want to uplift and empower each other, not talk down on one another. That is part of silencing that inner critique, because you're surrounding yourself with people who are solution finders, and we're all going somewhere. Now, I'm going to move swiftly into embracing your authenticity. Listen, I know for a fact that nobody in this world can be Tewa. That is a fact, a guarantee. Nobody can be Epunlomo. Nobody can be admin. Did I just say admin? Whoever admin is. Nobody can be Rowo. Nobody can be Folashade. Nobody can be Busola. Nobody can be intentional Adish. I love that. Intentional Adish. Nobody can be Anita. Nobody can be anybody. You are the best at being you. So every single day, show up as your authentic self. Your authentic self in the way you dress, your authentic self in the way you show up for yourself and for others. Show up as your authentic self. Very, very key. Very, very important. Embrace your strengths. Outsource your weakness. There is no shame in that. Embrace your strength. Outsource your weakness. If you cannot do it, say, I cannot do it. Who can do it that will support me? Because trust me, your strength is somebody else's weakness. And we can complement each other. We can collaborate and not be competitive. Outsource your weakness. You need to understand what your strengths are, so that you know that this is what I'm good at. This is what I can't do, so I'm going to let somebody else do it. Okay, this is what I'm not great at, but I want to learn. So what do I need to do? I need to invest in myself. I need to invest in coaching. I need to invest in mentors. I need to find an accountability partner. I need to go to school. I need to take more courses. You invest in yourself. And the funniest thing is, all of this is part of loving yourself, because if you love yourself, you will want to do the best for yourself. Am I here? Am I resonating? Please let me know if, if I'm resonating with you all. Show me the 111s if you're resonating. Yes, so many times we focus on our weakness, yet we have other people that are doing that for us. So why are we doing that to ourselves? Why are we putting ourselves down? Why are we waiting for people to validate us when you can validate yourself? Validate yourself. You are doing well with what you know now. And when you know better, you begin to do better. Be unapologetically you. If they don't like you, they should move to another table. If they don't like you, they should move somewhere else, because you are the best at being you. Be unapologetic. Have you seen how men just, bravado their ways into meetings? We need to have that mindset as well and embody us. Show up as your authentic self. If you like to wear pantsuits, if that's what suits you, wear it with confidence and deliver your work with that confidence. If you like to wear dresses, do it with confidence. If you like to wear jewelry, do it with confidence, because we have to also remember that we're feminine and not forget that. There is strength in in showing your femininity. There is strength in that, because it shows you are different from the man. And we are different. God made us differently. You don't see a man trying to, be a little bit more feminine because it's the in thing to do. No, you don't see men succumbing. Why should we succumb? Show up with your femininity, because you're a woman. Yes, I want to be soft. Yes, I want to be taken care of. But when I need to take care of business, I am on my business. I am taking care of my business. I am showing up for my business, for my career, for my family, for my society, for my community, for my country, for the world. Because you have greatness in you to deliver onto the world. That's why you are here. That's why we are all still here. Growth mindset. Embrace your authenticity. Let go of people pleasing. Let go of people pleasing. I tell you a personal story of when when my son was really young. He used to want to be, he used to want to people please and just not offend anybody, And women were I used to do this until I became conscious of it. And I'm like, hold on a second, what am I sorry for? Oh, excuse me, sorry. Sorry, can I? What am I sorry for? I'm not sorry for anything, actually. So I stated, as a matter of fact, why are we always starting a conversation with, sorry, or please, or can I just, no. You don't see men saying please or sorry. They talk, but they say it. So when I saw that my son was like that, when he was much younger, he's 18 now, when he was much younger, I had to look at him and call him and speak to him that yes, you can be a gentleman, but you can also say no. Do you know what the meaning of your name is? His name is Benaiah, mighty man of God. You're a mighty man. That means you're big, you're mighty. You can have whatever it is you desire. If somebody is saying something to you that you don't agree with, politely say no. You have to politely say no. So I said that to him. And I speak to myself as well. So when I'm going out or doing anything, I am reminding myself that I am the best at being me. I am not sorry for being here. And I'm not going to beg you to be here. Growth mindset. You have to make sure that you're showing up I can't speak. You're showing your authenticity every single moment you can, because people are ready to pull you down if you let them. People are ready to try to take your power away from you if you let them. So you must own that power. Own it. Be your authentic self. Another point I want to say today is you need to build your resilience, growth mindset. Build that resilience. Go out there and do it over and over again till you succeed. Consistency is key till you succeed. Because when you fail at something, you're not a failure, but you're learning one way that it won't work. So you go at it again. You try it again. You fall down 9 times, you get up 10. Build that resilience. It's very, very important. You have to build that resilience to overcome obstacles. Oh, somebody said this to me and made me feel XYZ. Get over it. By all means, feel the feeling, but get over it. Move on to the next level. Build that resilience. See challenges as opportunities to grow. That is your cue that you need to grow. That is your cue that your next level requires another growth level of you. So you must see opportunities, you must see challenges as opportunities. Build that resilience. Very, very important. Extremely important. Self-care will help you build resilience. Because when you know who you are, when you know yourself, you are unapologetically showing up for yourself. You're taking care of yourself, your mental health. You're very, very, you're very, very, you take it as your priority. You know that it's important and you only want to do what's important. Do you understand what I mean? And then another thing, we're accelerating action, we're unleashing our wings. You can't hold yourself back by not taking action. With all of these things that we've talked about, if we don't take action, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to work. You must take action. You must put yourself in positions where you're taking action. You must leave whatever you've written on paper and then try to bring it to reality by taking action. It's very, very key, extremely key. You must take action, because when you say you want more women representation in the boardroom, or more women representation in a certain field, and then you sit back and say it will happen one day. No, it's not going to happen one day until you take action. So you must take action. Very, very key, very, very important. And then you have to create a plan. Create a plan, set your deadline, because the goal without a plan is wishful thinking. Make them smart, specific. I want to accelerate action. What do you want to do? What exactly do you want to do to accelerate action? What do you want to do with your sphere of influence? What do you want to do? You must be specific. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable as well. Like, on the Eloy Awards Foundation, we want to empower 1,000 women by the end of, the first half of the month. We're making it measure, and then we're measuring by how many women turn up to our events, how many women we're able to empower. With Exquisite Magazine, which is a fashion, wellness, and lifestyle magazine, we want people that are enthusiastic about wellness to join the Exquisite Club. We want over 100 club members every month to be able to do extra. You have to be specific about what you want. Very specific. I love that with the community. Ebon Lama is very specific. Widows, divorced women. You're very specific on what you want to do. You must be specific. And it takes a certain mindset for you to do that self-audit and be specific. And then your goals as well has to be reasonably believable to you, because if you set goals you don't believe, you're not going to achieve them. And what I mean by that is, yes, set big goals, but believe you can achieve those big goals. Because if you don't believe you can achieve the big goals, it's not going to happen. Remember, I said that in life, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. So if you want $1 million and within your heart, you believe you can have $1 million, you believe you can intentionally have the habits that will get you to $1 million, by all means, put that down as a goal and be ready to do the work. Because you can't want $1 million and have one couple attitude or a mindset, growth mindset. You need to build it. You need to make yourself a priority. Self-care, I said it before, it's very important to say it again, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You must take care of yourself. Take care of your well-being. Mindfulness is key. I love meditating. You can meditate. Meditation is it's so important because it quietens your mind. It quietens, all the monkey thoughts that are going through in your head. It helps you with that. Self-care is very important. Yeah, for you to be able to unleash these wings that you already have. Are you noticing that I'm saying you already have the wings? You already have the power. It's already in you. Now, whether or not you believe it's in you, is how you're going to take action. Because now that you're here today, you have to believe that you have those wings anyway. So nothing's going to hold you back. Nothing should hold us back. Nothing should hold us back by moving forward. Nothing should hold us back by achieving our dreams, by making that massive impact and making massive income. Nothing should hold us back. Nothing should hold us back from accelerating action, taking action, because nobody is going to do it for us unless we rise up and do it. Nobody. So to accelerate action and to unleash your greater self and and unleash that power you have within you, you must see yourself as this great force that nobody can stop. You're a moving train. Nobody can stop you. You're a force to be reckoned with. I am a force to be reckoned with. And when I get into a room, you must listen to me. You have to listen to me. And I won't take no for an answer. Even if you tell me a no, I always think of two things. I'm either talking to the wrong person or I haven't articulated my value properly. So I go back to the drawing board. Because one way or the other, I must get a yes. Because that vision in my head was given to me for a reason, because I am able to bring it to fruition. So to accelerate progress, to accelerate action, unleash your wings, no holding back, taking action on whatever it is you need to do. You need to see yourself as that person. You need to work on the mindset. Don't let self-doubt hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. You must see yourself as that powerhouse. There's something that I saw that I wanted to read again. Let me try to fish it out. You must also act like that person that you see in your mind's eye. And when I say act like that person, that means showing up like that person every single day. You don't have to break the bank to look good. I searched that, why do women hold themselves back? And there are 5 points here. They hold themselves back because of society expectations and stereotypes. Women often think that they need to prioritize others over them. Prioritize the children, prioritize the husband, prioritize mommy, prioritize daddy, prioritize everybody else, and then you're the last one. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So from now onwards, do you fill your cup first? On the airplane, when they're telling you the rules and the instructions, they don't say to you to put the mask on your child first. They say put the mask on yourself first, and then you can help the child. Because when you put the mask on the child before you, and then something happens to you, what's going to happen to the child? Who's going to take care of the child? So take care of you. Another thing is lack of confidence and self-doubt. And we've talked about that, we've talked about that already. Imposter syndrome. Let me tell you something. If you are in a room or if you're invited into a room, that means you are meant to be there. Somebody saw something in you that you probably haven't seen in yourself already. So let's forget this imposter syndrome and intentionally own that power to be in the room. And I tell you a story. There was one time I was invited by the federal ministry to give a talk on some of the things we've been doing on Exquisite Magazine and Eloy. Do you know that for days I couldn't sleep because I was like, oh my God, who are you? This, this small lady. How did you even, who even thought about you? And I'm getting into a meeting with men, men that are older than me, old enough to be my father, women that are older than me. And I started thinking to myself, why do I, are they sure they invited the right person? I had to now intentionally speak to myself and remind myself that I was called into this room because they can see my track record. And I am the best person to talk about this because nobody can talk about it. So please let go of imposter syndrome. If you're invited to a table that you didn't think that you should be at, it means that you are ready to be at that, and God handpicked you to be at that table. Now, another thing, why what's holding women back is the fear of failure and criticism. What will people say? They're gonna say this, they're gonna say that. Whatever you do, good or bad, people are gonna talk anyway. So you might as well give them something to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? So go out there and do it. Be you. Another thing is, women are they're not able to do that work-life balance. I don't even call it work-life balance. I call it work-life integration because work is integrated into life. So make sure this goes back to self-care. Make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you know what is important at what point, and you're making sure that you're able to marry them together and work effectively well. Do what suits you, because it's not a one size fits all. Another thing that I saw is women are thinking that they have limited resources. Yes, the resources might be limited, but we need to put ourselves out there. I'm glad about the conversation that is happening about funding and finance. We've been having these conversations for a while. We're not there yet, but we're having that conversation and moving forward with it. On the Elo Award platform, for instance, we're always talking to women about how they can access, different affordable loans and different funding as well. So we're having that conversation. We just need to go out there. Listen, there are so many opportunities out there for women, but because most women think there are no opportunities, we're not doing the research to find these opportunities. I read somewhere, I didn't do I didn't get the actual stats for it, but I think the World Bank said that there's so much money on the ground that women are not harnessing. But men are going, I think they said they gave 60 or 70% of the loans or financing to men. And women are not asking for it. There's the conversation that we've been having for so long about women being scared to talk about money, women being scared to take loans. Men are not scared to take loans. Some even take the loans not for their business, but to marry more wives. So we need to be audacious. We need to be bold and explore the opportunities that are out there for us to be able to get to the next level and shorten this over 200 years to at least, maybe 100, maybe a 50, maybe in our lifetime. We need to unleash our inner wings. We need to unleash our power. We need to take action unapologetically and let nothing hold us back. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. And thank you so much for listening.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, what do you think? Wow, 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 wow. It's just wow. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Tewa.
you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tewa. That was
Thank
amazing. That was
you.
deep and that was rich. Thank you so much.
Thank
Guys,
you.
I'm sure that we've had enough. Dr. Tewa has said a lot, building on what Ife Useh said. You see, this is deep. And I
Yes.
was saying that some of those things are not new, but you are hearing it
Mm.
again in another dimension, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
give it to my guest, give it to my guest. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Tewa.
You're
And
most
to
welcome.
say that it was, I brought you in here in a very short while, very short notice, and you still granted it and you gave your best. Thank you so much. Very passionate. I say, if you say very passionate, I appreciate you and I celebrate you. Thank you for all that you do for the women
Thank
folk.
you.
I truly appreciate it and I celebrate you more. Thank you, Dr. Tewa.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ife. It's been a deep, 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 deep one. Please don't mind what's happening around me. I'm a PhD here, we're in Nigeria. So, yeah, thank you very much. And guys, Dr. Sewa said you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have. You can only give from your overflow. and she said a lot of things. And in all this, remember I said something about let manifestation meet your expectation. She has said that in another language, saying that you should plan. We should learn to plan and set deadlines. Don't stay stuck. Build your resilience. When you fail at something, don't sit there and be sulking and be crying. See your failures as stepping stone. If he said that too. Take your mental health very, very, very seriously because it is important. And guys, if you and I can decide to take heed to all these things, remember the vast tool that she gave us: visualization, affirmation, scripting yourself, exciting energy. The energy you give out is what you take in. We are body of energy. We are taught that severally in this community, that we are body of energy, and it is what you take out that you get. We have read about, for those of us that did sciences, the law of attraction. It is what you give out that you attract. The universe will definitely give back what, and that's why he said, with joy, you withdraw out of the well of salvation with joy, not with gloomy faith, not with anger, not with bitterness. You need to pay attention to all this. Get yourself prepared, get yourself ready so that when your name is mentioned in the places where you are not, you're able to defend it, you're able to present yourself well. We have said this a lot of times in this community, and I'm excited because Dr. Tewa and Ifeyinwa, they are saying it, they are reiterating some of those things again. So I want to appreciate my guests. Thank you, Dr. Tewa and Ife, for charging us up. I believe that next year, when we are celebrating, or before the end of this first quarter, okay, let me say before the end of the second quarter of the year, we'll be having testimonials from ladies who are taking action. Please don't be jealous when some people start sharing their testimonials, because some people are going to take steps while some of you will still look. Or don't be passive. I think this is part of the things that pastors don't like when they come to declare the year of double double. Some people will say amen and believe it. Some people will say amen and in their mind they're saying, how is that going to happen? They're trying to calculate. I think it was Ify that said it. You don't need to know the why or the how. Just receive it and run with it. And this is what we have said today. So here are the challenges. What bold move will you take henceforth? I want us to think about it. This is the challenge now. What are the bold moves you will start making anytime from now? Ask for the raise of salary. Go ahead, do it. Move out of your comfort zone. Are you ready to move out of your comfort zone? I said something when we started, that zone that we think is comfortable, it's not even comfortable. We all know that it's not comfortable, but we still call it comfort zone. It's not comfortable. So what are we going to do? Who are the people you want to start relating with? So when I teach the tools, which Tewa has taught using VAS as the acronym, I also talk about positive people. Who are the people you want to start relating with? You need to start engaging positive people, not the people that will feed your fear, not the people that will feed your failure. Right? Positive people. Go ahead, do that webinar. Go ahead, do that outreach. Start the business. Face your fear. Go for that degree. I think it was Tumbiti last born that said, oh, she thought starting the master's degree was going to be a great problem or issue. But now she's done and she's seen it as really, and that's how it is. Dr. Tewa said it. You're afraid of it because you've not done it before. So that fear of starting is valid. By the time you do it, you take that step, take that little step, Take that step. You'll be surprised that at the other side of your fear is confidence. At the other side of your fear is success. And I believe that with all this that my speakers have said, you will agree with me that women, we are phenomenal, we are natural, we have everything we need for life and godliness. Everything has been given to us. Those situations, those circumstances, those experiences, they are there, they are part of the journey. They are part of the things, like I mentioned initially, they are part of the experiences and they are tools in your hands. None of them is wasted. By the time you move from where you are to another level, you will refer to it. And that means it has added value to who you are. And if you're already operating at a particular level, maybe this is the time for you to move. What you needed to strive is not what you need to thrive. And so all these things that Dr. Tewa and Ife have talked about, they are the things you need to thrive on another level. So as we go into the year celebrating this International Women's Day 2025, I want to believe that you have been touched. And as part of the plan, we have a free therapy session. Okay, we're saying, okay, our pain, our trauma is making us feel stuck. Oh, I have tried to move. I am not moving. I can't see myself doing it. We are not disputing the fact that some of us might be traumatized. And so on the 21st of March, we are putting together a free therapy session for people who have suffered divorce and separation. And I want to say here that you don't have to be divorced and separated to join this therapy session. So if you're interested in joining, it's a free therapy session. You can, okay, the admin has dropped the link in the chat session. And this is happening on the 21st of March. You might want to join. We all know what it costs to go through therapy in this part of the world, even outside Nigeria. So you want to take advantage of this free therapy session. It's not for women alone, it's also for the men and the women. This is because some of the things we are going through, some of the pain we are suffering, some of the feeling stuff is as a result of our upbringing or significant emotional experience, or some of us, the environment where we grew up from. And so this is affecting our mood. It's affecting the rate at which our wings want to unleash. Maybe it's choking you and making you feel somehow. Please click on the link that's in the chat session to join the free therapy session. This is happening on the 21st of March at 7 p.m. It's going to be via Zoom so that we can reach quite a number of people. And again, for as many ladies who are on this call, who are divorced and separated, I have a special heart for you. And so I'm inviting you to join the Sunshine Hub community. This community is not for ladies alone, it's for men and women. So by the time you join the Sunshine Hub community, we continue our conversation and we enjoy our conversation in that group. It's a journey that you cannot walk alone. You need other people who have gone through or are going through to go on that journey, to navigate that journey with you. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you once again, thank you very much, admin. Judith, admin has dropped the link. Please feel free, the free therapy session, the community, and if you are interested in supporting us as we give to these amazing women from the Sunshine Hub community, the account details can also be shared again. Admin, please share the account details. The other thing we have going on for us is the parenting community, we are starting the third stream. So admin, please share the link to join the admin. Oh, thank you, Pierre. Pierre is here. Thank you for joining us. Admin, please share the link to join. You know, parenting is one, and some of us are where we are because of how we were raised. And so some of us, we don't even, as you are, you're telling yourself, I don't want to be like my mom, I don't want to be like my dad. And if you look at your life now, you see that you're living your life unconsciously, the way they live their life, and you don't want it, right? So we also have the VIP parent class. It's going to be it's a 13 weeks program that's going to help us in parenting this generation of children. That's one other challenge that we have as mothers. So if you're interested, the link is also there. You want to join the VIP parenting class. It's going to be for 13 weeks, and a lot of things have been put in place to help us. If you don't understand the generation that you are leading, you're going to miss it or you're going to lose them. And so this parenting class is going to help you navigate your parenting journey. With this, we come to the end of the International Women's Day 2025. Yeah, guys, please celebrate my guest once again. Let's celebrate my guest once again. Okay, admin, see why it said the link isn't directing us to the groups and we can't copy. You can't copy idea. I don't understand that. Admin, please respond to see why. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Tewa Onasanya and Dr. Ifeyinwa Useh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Tewa. Talk behind the scene. We might want to send some of our people to your empowerment program at the LOA. So yeah,
Fantastic.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful rest of the day and a beautiful weekend. Thank
You
you very
too.
much. Ifeyinwa Useh, actually, let me see Ufe's face now. Let me see Mrs. Useh's face. Thank you very much, sis. Nice having you on the show. Looking forward to having you more. Looking forward to having you more. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of the weekend and a beautiful week ahead. Love you. Bye.
I had a word for you, dear woman. It would be. Remember that you were engineered for execution.
You are the savior the world has been waiting for.
You have such limitless abilities.
You are made for more. You don't need to wait for permission. You can start where you are.
Remember that idea is valid.
Your voice and action matters.
It's time to rise.
To shine your light and add color to our world.
Let us be bold
and turn our dreams to tangible action.
And accelerate change.
Not tomorrow, but today.
I celebrate the incredible women who nurtures, who guides, who inspires every day.
Don't forget that quitting is not an option. We'll push through the pain.
Keep blooming.
Keep moving forward.
Keep inspiring.
Take action.
And you would see that future that you want for yourself is right in the corner.
Everything you need to make an impact is already in you.
We're rooting for you.
The world can't wait to hear your voice and experience the things that you are capable of accomplishing.
Thank you very much.